Coming up this Sunday night, Las Vegas, Nevada will play host to UFC Fight Night, a welterweight tussle. It is must-see TV as Rick Story collides with the former Strikeforce champion Tarek Saffiedine. We are joined on the line by Rick Story. Rick, it's been a while. What have you been up to since the last time we saw you in the octagon?
Well, actually, I was training, and then I got injured, but I was ready to fight Eric Silva last August. And, I went through a long training camp and was ready to go, and then I got hurt. So, pretty much since then, since I got injured, I've recovered and been training and getting ready for this bout.
Are you training down at the lab with John Crouch right now?
No, I stayed up in Vancouver, Washington this camp. Just kept it close to home and made it work.
Now, you've been all over the place. We know you went down to Arizona. You've spent time at the Tristar gym in Montreal. What was the purpose of going out into the world and seeing the different gyms and the different training partners you could get?
It's just the opportunities at hand. And, it's just like one of those things that, I think that every fighter should experience just to find out what works best for them and what fits their lifestyle and their needs. So it was just something that I did, and I got the experience and then learned and just went from that.
Rick, when we watch you fight, there's something just a little different about your rhythm and something just a little bit different about the way that you, particularly your striking. It's off time, it's really different, and it's really hard for guys. Can you describe to me what it is that makes you a different boxer, kickboxer than the average guy who came up through Muay Thai?
I've sparred a lot, I've fought a lot, I've got experience, and I've been realizing lately when I've been sparring, I'm doing these things that catch people off guard that I don't even realize that I'm doing just to set things up. So, to answer that question, honestly, I just do things to get the job done.
Mm-hmm. And kind of a feel thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it easy for you to get comfortable inside of the cage?
I've done it so many times now. It's just kind of like another day in the business. It's just getting in and getting it done. But it did take at least like 10 or 12 fights before I got to the point that I'm at now.
I think it's easy for people to look at you and kind of categorize you as a wrestler-boxer, that combination of wrestler-boxer. But I kind of put you in a class with like Matt Brown, like where you've almost built your whole game around the fact that you're just a tougher dude than other guys. Is that accurate?
I believe so. I would consider myself really durable. Not proud to say it, but I can take a hard shot, and it kind of wakes me up, and then I want to pay the person back whenever I get hit. So maybe that adds to my toughness, but at the same time, each time I go out, my game plan usually changes, so then I just focus on things that work to exploit my opponent.
A lot of the time we've heard that a lot of tough individuals, especially ones that come from a wrestling background, they said they're so used to going through that grind. But in today's age, they have to change the way that they train. They have to kind of reprogram their brain because they want to avoid injury and they don't want to get themselves burned out. Have you had to change anything since your UFC debut, or have you been training the same since day one?
No, it's definitely changed quite a bit. Training smarter and not harder, but when it's time to train hard, you definitely train hard. That just comes with the territory, at least from my experience and what I do. Just training hard and going too hard most of the time is something that I had to learn the hard way, because obviously I get injured and then I'm burnt out by the time it's like fight week, and I don't recover as much as I should. But now I listen to my body, and that's just time that you don't learn until you do it enough times. So yeah, it's changed quite a bit.
You mentioned, it took you 10 or 12 fights to really get that comfort level, and you're talking about learning by doing. Is that how you always improve? Is just you got to do it, you got to experience it, you got to learn from the experience? Is that who you are?
It's part of it, and it's a huge part of it. It's kind of not taking anything for granted and just learning by trial and error. Mm-hmm. But also, it's taking advisement from people that are more experienced than you, and not having like such an ego, mm-hmm. and shutting your ears to anyone that wants to give you input. And just like think of yourself as an empty cup and taking the knowledge that will add to your game, and just let the stuff go right out the other ear if it doesn't really seem like it will work for you.
Tarek Saffiedine, you have him in your sights. A very technical striker, very intelligent fighter, excellent takedown defense. And I looked through your record, and you faced kind of a fighter like him in the past in Martin Kim, and a guy that uses mobility, great takedown defense. Do you rely on some of your past experiences when you're facing an individual, or is it just a clean slate? I don't care who I've faced in the past. This is a new challenge in front of me.
It's a clean slate every time. Obviously you want to improve off your past performances, but at the same time, I know that I've improved, and I know I've gotten a lot better and learned from my mistakes by trial and error, and got a lot more experience on my belt, so I can wipe the slate clean and come out and do what I've trained to do.
You've trained up at Tristar where Tarek is now. So you've sparred with Rory and some of the other guys in there, and the coaches have seen you. Is there anything that they think they know about you that you can take advantage of? Do you know what I mean? Is there anything that you know?
There's no secret about me. I'm aggressive. I'm in your face, and I punch hard. I kick hard. And it's going to be a fight for 3 rounds if you don't put me away. Or if I don't put you away first. So I don't really think there's anything really secretive about it or any type of advantage. The only thing that they can do is just try to take advantage of my aggression.
The last time we saw you in action was October of 2014, and we ask a lot of fighters that have been off for a little while, where do they feel that they've improved the most? And I know the standard generic answer is, well, I've improved everywhere. Is there a certain area that you can pinpoint? And again, maybe it's the mental game, maybe it's a certain technique that you're getting onto. Is there somewhere that you've improved more than any other area?
I would say being more balanced. That's just the bottom line that I can pinpoint right now. Mm-hmm. Just feeling overall balanced and not specific to one necessary thing.
Was it difficult to find that balance? Because we know a lot of fighters, they struggle with trying to find the balance of being aggressive and being too aggressive and being tentative and still trying to play their game. What is the balance for you?
Well, really it's just being comfortable in all aspects, and obviously that comes with training and experience. So I think just time in the sport and time in training and time learning the hard way and just making all the right turns that you need to be that balanced.
All the action. Do you want to, Robin, you have another question? I
was just going to say, Rick, I really enjoyed chatting with you, man, and I hope you have a really awesome, fun time in that cage.
I appreciate it. I'm going to have a good time.
All the action goes down this Sunday night in Las Vegas, Nevada. Welterweight action. Rick Story taking on Tarek Saffiedine. Rick, thank you so much for the time. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, guys.